slow down. Street signs and headlights. I won't slow down. You see me grinding, I'm on my own. I won't slow down. Street signs and headlights. I won't slow down. See me grinding, I'm on my own. In June. They want a year so round. We give it y'all scared to move. The reach brought us out the cities, and we won't slow down, and we hold it down. You're getting crowned for the sound, yup. Gotta get on the road, gotta get away. Super quality gas inside my engine's tank. Offended but never meant to sever your heaven in several ways. Look at the haze, it's the front and the
Surf Lifesaving, we're a charitable organisation that is in the position of looking after the beaches around New Zealand and protecting people when they come to the beach and swim between the red and yellow flags.
Surf Lifesaving is an organisation that's based around preventing drowning and injury on New Zealand beaches, so we're all about keeping the beach safe.
Even though go home is so photos of nothing, incredible Hogan. Look me in the eyes and I'll just sit there saying nothing. I gotta roll.
Surf Lifesaving is so important because we're such a coastal nation. We have one of the largest coastlines for the amount of land that we actually have, and sort of about 90% of the population lives within about 30 k's of the ocean. And we have one of the highest drowning statistics in the developed world. So I think Surf Lifesaving is definitely one of the probably primary organisations for trying to slow that down. Beach conditions in Canterbury, by and large, the majority of the Pegasus coast is just a pretty simple sloping white sand sort of beach. Sumner has its own wee issues with the estuary mouth and the rocks. There's a lot more channels and things going on there. And then Taylor's Mistake with cliffs and a slightly steeper beach. So we've got a bit of a mix, but overall we've got a pretty safe stretch of coastline, quite manageable and doesn't change very much. It's just sort of the surf size and the weather that is the main variables that we have to deal with.
The surf lifesaving is really important because we're New Zealanders. We have such an affinity to the outdoors that we love going to the beach, and we provide a service that allows you to come have a great time at the beach between the red and yellow flags and be safe and go home at the end of the day. It's about being involved in your local community. It's hanging out with your friends at the beach and doing the sports stuff. It's also doing the lifeguarding stuff. It's making a contribution to the general day-to-day well-being of New Zealanders.
To get my lifeguard award, there's a range of tests that you have to do. So the first up, you have to do a 400 metre swim in under 9 minutes. Run, swim, run. So you come down to the beach, do 200 metre run, 200 metre swim, 200 metre run again. Then you have to do a tube rescue. So that's where you swim out, pick up a swimmer, do the tube up, swim back. Do a theory exam. So you get tested on, you get a book, and it's got like ranges from just scanning the water, looking for potential victims. There's also, you have to show your first aid, so it's just basic first aid level 1.
So this is an incident report form. So whenever somebody comes to us with any kind of incident, we have to fill in this form, and it will say about the patient and what's happened and how we fixed it and what we can do to prevent the hazard from happening again.
Surf Lifesaving is a great opportunity for people to hang out at the beach. It's a good social thing and a great way to give back to the community while staying fit and being in the outdoors.
Normal day on the beach, you'd rock up, you'd sign in on your patrol captain's form, you'd set the flags up, set the IRB up, put the boards down at the flags, put the tubes at the flags, have some fins down there as well. Just set it up to make sure that you can cater for anything.
This is the patrol captain's report form, and this is where we fill out all the information about patrol, like how many hours everybody did, if there's any incidents, how many IRBs were on patrol, how many radios were used, that kind of thing, and all the head counts for during the days.
The IRB is an inflatable rescue boat, and that's the big orange boats that you see down at the flags when you're walking along the beach. An IRB is used for when you've got potential mass rescues or a person who's in a rip and just getting travelled, sucked out to sea, whereas it will be quicker to respond to them in the IRB than swimming out to them with a tube rescue. The IRB, you have a driver and you have a crewman. With the IRB, you have those two on the boat. The crewman sits up the front on the right hand side, the driver sits at the back on the left next to the motor.
So this is the IRB logbook, and you'll say what kind of patrol you're on and what hull you're using and what engine you're using. And here you write the patrol members' names, and then you have a checklist of what you do to set it up, and then you have a checklist of what you do to set it down, and then you have any problems or anything that needs to be fixed, you write here.
When swimming at the beach, obviously swim between the flags. If you get into any difficulty, put your hand up. Make sure you're swimming with other people and knowing your limits, so making sure that you stay well within your comfort zone.
Surf Lifesaving, I think, is a really cool thing to do. I think it's one of those things you make great friends, you can have a really good time. Our surf sports side of the movement is huge. You join Surf Lifesaving, there's only over 13 different sporting events that you can partake in across the movement, which is great. It's a fun way to spend your summer. It's good fun, you'll make good friends, and working at Surf or getting a lifeguard award means you can patrol pretty much anywhere in the world. New Zealand Surf Lifeguard Award is pretty highly recommended and comes with a lot of really cool things.
Normal day on patrol, most of the time it's pretty quiet. There's probably 2 or 3 days a year where it gets really busy, and that's when you're limited with numbers. You've got 4 guards at the beach, you might be patrol captain, you might have a driver, you might have a crewman, and then yeah, you might have say 100 people in the water and 500 on the beach. That's usually a pretty busy day for Christchurch. Sometimes you might get up to 1500 on the beach and have 500 in the water. Those days are very challenging, but they're also awesome because your main focus is to try and make sure everyone's safe, have no rescues, spot dangers before they result to something. So if you see someone going in a rip, you can go and automatically get them moving across in between the flagged area.
I think one of my biggest rescues was I was lifeguarding in Sumner, and we saw a couple of people who had decided to walk from the South Brighton spit across the estuary mouth to Sumner. They had been drinking and they were taking their bottles of bourbon with them. They were fully clothed in shoes, and one guy even had a beanie on. So by the time we saw them, got the boat out and got there, they were probably about 150 metres offshore, still clinging to their bourbon, which is good. But we got them in the boat and back to the beach, but that was pretty hectic when we saw through the binoculars what was going on there.
The sports side of things to Surf Lifesaving too. You can either choose to do sand nationals or IRB nationals, which is where the sand is like you got your board rescue, ski rescue, your sprints, board race, surf race, all that sort of things to do with a gear like that.
Strokes, and then have about a 30-second break out there, and then coming back in fast and finishing like your race finishing. Okay, so we're going to do that 5 times. Then we're going to do runs from run starts and finishes. So you see my cones over here for your runs from run course. Okay, so you're going to start finish between these cones.
And there's also the IRB aspect of things, where you're racing the boats. You can either be a patient, a crewman or a driver. I've been patienting for a couple of years now. It's great fun. It's awesome. There's competitions all around Christchurch, and then you can also go to South Islands, northern regions or nationals, and anybody can go. It's good atmosphere, good a bit of fun. You meet clubs from around all of New Zealand.
I think community support's essential, one in terms of funding, so obviously we need that from the community, but also we need the backing of the community to pretty much help us out. We give our flagged areas and we have our patrol beaches, but if people don't choose to swim at them, then we can't really help. So by having the community support and having them support our clubs, it just promotes people to be educated and go swim where we are, so that helps with our safety.
I think it's essential to get support from the community because we're down there most summers, and from starts November till about March, and it's just good to get people involved and so they know to support. Because I mean, you go to the beach and there's still a lot of swimmers that swim around the dangerous areas.
Because we need the community buy-in to let them know that actually when our lifeguards are down there and we're advising you the best places to swim, that they understand that we are the experts of inshore water rescue, which is where we sit. We're quite highly regarded around that stuff, and I don't think the community is aware of the key role we play. We sit quite heavily with the SAR Secretariat, which is around search and rescue. They see us very much as that integral part of their search and rescue toolkit, so we work quite closely alongside Land SAR, Coast Guard and Marine SAR. Best thing about Surf Lifesaving, make some really good friends. It's one of those things that once you're into it, it's really hard to get out of it, and it's just, we have a saying of the sand between your toes, and it's definitely very true. Sand does get between your toes.
Every year New Zealanders flock to our beaches to make the most of the long summer days, and every year Surf Lifesavers help us enjoy the water safety. A century after our first lifesavers took to the surf in New Brighton in 1910, New Zealand is now home to more than 70 surf lifesaving clubs. From North Shore to Invercargill, lifesavers patrol our beaches, educate Kiwis about water safety, and help people compete in fun and exciting surf sports. During those 100 years, lifesavers have rescued tens of thousands of New Zealanders from the surf and provided safe swimming between the flags for millions more. We also acknowledge the many generations of young Kiwis who have served as surf lifesavers and who faithfully guard our beaches today. Their hard work, their skill and their dedication to the fellow New Zealanders is an inspiration to us all.
In it for life.
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 In it for the food.